Hello, this is my PowerPoint presentation on composing a proposal essay. This one will be pretty concise, I promise. The first thing you see up there is the attention grabber. As usual, a narrative hook would work. Something that perhaps will add some pathos or emotional appeal to your topic might be something you consider to pull the audience into your essay. You might also add with a fact, a stat, a quote, some perspective on the issue or something like that. So pull the audience into your essay. That's the first thing you do in many types of writing when it comes to formal essays. The next thing you see under a proposal is introducing your problem. Make sure you have a well-defined problem that you can identify and try to explain the issue, basically kind of the ins and outs of the issue, what might some of the consequences be if it's not resolved, and offering some new perspective. So, in a nutshell, what's the problem? And in some cases, you might have to let the audience know why we should be concerned about the problem. So your goal will be to present the solution or offer some sort of a thesis, convincing those readers to accept your proposal, imagining its implementation, and really proving to the audience that your proposal is the proposal that works. So the goal of your proposal, the objective, is to convince the readers to accept your proposal. And the way I always talk about the proposal, you tell the audience, it's broken. Here's how it's broken, and here's how I'll fix it. And going through that implementation process will be important, of course. Arguing for the solution, you're going to be going through essentially showing that we can make this happen. I think money and time are two things that come up quite often. So you might have some personal experiences, hypothetical cases, scenarios, stats, facts, examples, expert testimony. You might really focus upon the consequences. Hey, if we don't do something about this, we could have some dire consequences. So you do want to essentially argue for that solution and show the audience that the solution works. Go through the implementation process. Show the audience that this is a necessary thing. So as you're looking at it, people are going to, have some counter solutions, or maybe say, hey, why change at all? So you might have to go through and counter some of those, reject some of those standard solutions, show how they're incomplete, show how they're not really going to be the long-term answer, so forth and so on. As I mentioned, the two biggies that always seem to show up, it's too expensive. Sure, that'd be great, but how could we possibly pay for it? So you might very well have to show the audience how you're going to pay for it. If you're doing universal health care, it's going to, take a progressive tax scale. You're going to have to tax the rich, most likely, in order to make it work. So you have to try to sell to people why that's important. Or you might show, hey, look at how much your premiums cost. It'll take, 5% of your income. But when you put that next to the premium you're paying, it actually isn't that much different, or maybe even less than the premiums you're paying, something along those lines. Do we have time? Depends on the topic, but sometimes, it's just a situation where, we need it done right away. And what you're suggesting could take a lot longer than that, let's just say. So in any case, time and money are two that I think of, but depending upon your proposal, there could be all sorts of objections that people have. So you'll need to address those objections to really show the implementation of your solution to the problem. And the conclusion, you're going to restate the thesis and try to leave some sort of impression with the audience, some sort of closure. If you started with that narrative hook, maybe you end with the narrative hook, but it could be a quote or something like that as well. So I told you I'd keep this one concise, and I did. The textbook has much more information than what I gave you here.